What's up, everybody? Welcome to Sports Weekly. I'm here with my co-host,
Nolan McDonald.
and I'm Braden Howdling. Today, we've got a lot on our plate. Our first segment, we're heading into the fighting world. We're going to start out with some UFC. We got to see two of some of the best fighters in the world fight this weekend.
John Bones Jones against Stipe Miocic.
And then on the boxing side of it, we got to see Mike Tyson.
Step back in.
Yeah, he stepped back in the ring.
20 years.
20 years. Since 2005, he has not fought
Yeah.
a real fight that goes on his record. He fought an exhibition a couple years ago, but we all know that that wasn't a real fight.
No.
Um,
You were actually at the UFC fight this week to see John Jones fight. How was
I
that?
was at the UFC fights this weekend. Definitely one of the most amazing experiences in my life personally. Got to see a lot of cool celebrities, a lot of great fights, very entertaining. For a 5.5 hour event, I was definitely entertained every single minute of it. I got to see the newly elected president, and I got to see the greatest of all time, John Jones, get a TKO win over Stipe Miocic.
Pound for pound, who do you think is the best fighter in the UFC right now?
Pound for pound, number one, I feel like it would be a tie between John Jones and Islam,
Yeah.
but I feel like you just got to give it to John Jones.
I think I would give it to Islam personally. I mean, he's just an insane grappler.
He's unbeatable.
can't-
As long as he's in that lightweight division, he's
Yeah.
not going to be defeated.
No one's gonna stop.
You could argue Alex Pereira.
Yeah.
He's won by KO his last 4 title
Yeah.
fights.
I mean,
Ilya as well.
yeah. I
Knocked
mean,
out.
Islam against Poirier, he kind of just shut him down. Like, he didn't really let
Yeah.
Poirier do much.
But then you got to look at Ilya, who's
Yeah.
defeated Max Holloway by knockout and arguably the featherweight GOAT, Alex Volkanovski, which is very hard to do.
Yeah.
His next fight is definitely going to be interesting to see, whether or not he's for real or not. But I think the pound for pound number one fighter in the world is John Jones, no question.
Charles Oliveira, co-main event. Great
Co-main
fight.
event this weekend.
Great
One of the
fight.
most entertaining fights I've ever watched in my entire life. Michael Chandler put on a great show. Even when he loses, he still brings up the spirit, brings out the crowd. He gives a show. He's super entertaining, even when he doesn't get the win.
Think Oliveira has a shot at taking the title or no?
Well, obviously now that he won the fight, he's gonna get a title shot next.
Yeah.
But
Do you think he wins it?
Don't see him defeating Islam.
No.
I just don't.
I think Islam will be undefeated for most of his career.
He
He's-
does have one loss. He does have one loss, but it was an unlucky loss. He got knocked out. Moving on to a very controversial fight. Jake Paul and Mike Tyson went at it in Dallas this weekend.
Mike Tyson looked like he was 58 years old.
Let's answer the question though. Was it scripted?
No,
You don't think so?
no.
You don't think there was
If it was scripted, we would have known. You could tell that fight wasn't scripted.
But
and
the first part of the fight, Mike hit him right in the face, and Jake just backed off and gave him this crazy look. And personally,
I think that's Jake realizing that he's fighting Mike Tyson and not
possibly,
Ben Affleck.
but I think Mike could have knocked him out if he really
I think if he had been more aggressive in the first and second round, he would have won the fight. But he
Yeah.
was a little too sluggish, and he looked tired coming into the ring. And then fight started, and he looked a little
It
slow.
was a boring fight.
It was. I think the fight before
But-
it, the Katie Taylor Serrano fight, was more entertaining.
Oh yeah, there
that
was a lot
sick.
of entertaining
That
fights
was sick.
on the card for sure.
Yeah.
But fooling 120 million people into watching that fight,
Yeah.
nah.
Yeah.
Moving on to our NBA news. The Cavaliers.
15-0.
This is a start we see at some of the greatest teams of all time. The Warriors started 24-0, ended the season 73-9. The 1996 Bulls 72-10. They started off, I think, 12-0 or 13-0, something like that. Super impressive start.
Donovan Mitchell.
He is
looks
leading
like
the way.
one of the greatest players I've ever seen. He does stuff that like you don't see anywhere else in
It's
the
a
league.
night-to-night basis where he's performing on a superstar level.
Yeah.
He's definitely leading the charge on that team.
Oh, yeah. He's the veteran to a young rookie team, and he's doing a great job at it.
And he's a veteran that's also young.
Yeah, he's a young vet.
27 years old. He's hooping, he's balling
Yeah,
out. He's probably going to stay in Cleveland for a while.
He leads that Garland, the
Mobley. Jared Allen.
he makes them better by just being on the court.
Yeah. Then we have our MVPs to start the season.
Obviously, Nikola Jokic.
Nikola Jokic, man.
Every single year.
He's currently averaging just under a 30-point triple-double, 29 points per game, 13 rebounds per game, and 11 assists per game. Super impressive to watch. I mean, at his size, he's not a speedy guy, but he just knows where to put the ball at all times.
He's just smart. He plays the game smarter than everyone else.
And then you look at Anthony Davis, who is second in the MVP ladder right now. He's averaging 31 points per game.
That's crazy.
And along with, I think, 14 rebounds or something like that. Super impressive. And he's alongside LeBron, who is one of the best passers in the NBA right now, for sure.
LeBron, for how old he is, 24 points a game, I think.
24 points per game, 7 rebounds, 8
Something like
assists.
that. It's insane.
It's
at his age. It's
40
nuts.
years old, year 22 in the league.
Insane.
Averaging 25 points per game is a little absurd.
Jason Tatum, third in the MVP race.
Celtics are once again
A good team.
one of the better teams in the East.
Yeah, I mean that.
My favorites for the title. I personally think they're going back to back. I think
the Cavs might have a chance to stop them though.
it's going to be, if they see each other in the conference finals, it's definitely going to be an interesting
it's
series
gonna be a tough
to
game.
watch. Looking at our New York basketball teams, not the best starts that we were looking forward to. Nets fall to 5-9.
Knicks on a 3-game win streak though.
They
Starting
are on a
at
3-game win
8-6.
streak, 8-6. They took one in the Garden the other night, and then I think they played last night and won,
They
right?
won. The Clippers.
They beat the Clippers in a very well played game. Brunson played very well, and they didn't have Cat last night, which held them back a little bit, but they still managed to get past.
The Bucks 5-9 to start the year.
And the Sixers.
Yeah,
who
the
are
Sixers are
even
like
worse.
2-11, right?
13, I think.
Jesus.
Very bad start.
I
for
think
two teams that were thought to be very good.
I would say Jared McCain is the only reason that team is in games. He's averaging like 24 a game. Or something crazy like that.
Jared McCain is definitely
He looks like he's
for
not
where their draft pick was. He's definitely a solid selection, 100%.
I would say he would steal the draft. He's playing so well right now on
yeah.
an underperforming
Yeah.
Sixers team.
Moving on to our NFL news. It's been a rough start for the New York football teams.
Except for the Bills.
I mean, yeah, the Bills are obviously, a top 3 team in the NFL next to the Chiefs and the Lions. The Chiefs and the Bills faced off this weekend in a it was a good game.
It was a great game.
Bills kind of took it away there in the second half, but definitely entertaining to watch. Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, it's always a good matchup.
Yeah.
We see it in the playoffs all the time. We saw it last year. I mean, we see it
every year.
It's, Patrick Mahomes normally takes it, but
Josh Allen played
Bills
great.
get their revenge this weekend.
Played great.
Going back to the New York football teams,
The Giants.
they were on a bye.
Start.
They were on a bye this week, but
it's a rough start.
they did fall to an OT loss to the Panthers, making them 2-8.
Yeah, I mean the Jets not much better. 3-8 after a loss to the Colts by 1.
I mean, you would expect the Jets to be much better with all the acquisition they had.
All the weapons. I mean the O-line is not where it should be.
Yeah, the O-line is definitely not where it should be right now, especially with the addition of Tyron Smith.
Yeah. John Simpson.
But speaking of where teams are placed, the Chiefs took a loss to the Bills this weekend and lost their undefeated record. They are now 9-1 and tied for the best team in the league with the Detroit Lions, my team. Very entertaining team to watch right now.
I mean,
they're dialed in.
Yeah, no, I feel like Patrick Mahomes doesn't have a lot of weapons, but he makes up for just raw talent.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
I mean, Travis Kelce is not doing much in that offense anymore.
He's definitely off to a slow start.
Yeah.
You could see that he's fallen off a little
Yeah.
bit. He's getting old. He's 35, I think. he's just gonna keep carrying on, and hopefully he can get through the season.
Yeah, I mean, he's
I
taking
want to
away
see
your
them
top
go
corner.
far in the playoffs. I do like the Chiefs.
I like the Chiefs. I don't
think-
want them winning a Super Bowl.
I just don't. I want my Lions
Yeah.
to win. But
I mean, in the AFC, I would love
if
to
the Lions
see.
don't win, I want Patrick Mahomes to have a good career.
Yeah.
I want him to win Super Bowls.
I think at some point, Patrick Mahomes, if he wins another Super Bowl, has to be in the GOAT race.
100%.
3 straight, 4 total. Like,
2 MVPs,
insane.
2 Offensive Player of the
Yeah.
Years. He's breaking records.
He's doing
for
stuff
his
that no one
age
ever
in terms
does.
of yards and touchdowns.
Yeah.
Definitely going to be in that GOAT
And
conversation.
he's still young, too.
Yeah, when the time comes. Moving on to our final segment, college football.
Georgia Tech beating number 4 Miami.
Yeah, it was definitely.
It was a good game. Great
My
game to
heart
watch.
kind of hurt because I love Cam Ward. Great quarterback.
Yeah.
I
think he'll
The
go.
Miami team is super entertaining to watch.
Yeah.
They've had a lot of great games this year. It sucks to see them fall.
Yeah.
But then we got Ole Miss
Beating number 2
defeat
Georgia.
the Dogs. Super
Jackson
surprising.
Dart.
Jackson Dart had a game.
Insane.
Called-
He's so good. He's either so good or he's so mid, and
Yeah.
there's no in between.
But defeating the Georgia Bulldogs definitely put them in
Yeah.
that college football playoff conversation.
Yeah. Kansas
and
beating.
I think we're going to see them
Yeah.
in the college football playoff for
Yeah.
sure.
Kansas beating number 17 Iowa State.
Iowa State, another undefeated college team that lost their 0 this weekend. Tough losses.
I think they came out expecting Kansas not to go 100%, and Kansas was going 110%, and I think that's why they won.
Yep.
And they didn't pick it up until the middle of the second quarter, and that's how you lose games. You don't
Yep.
pick it up in the first quarter.
Yep. Our Heisman hopefuls for this season, we have a very tight
Very
race.
tight race.
Quarterback for Miami, Cam Ward.
Ashton Genty, Boise
Ashton
State.
Genty, Boise State.
So
who's-
good. Just
And then our favorite right now, in my opinion, Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter.
He's insane. I think he should go number 1 overall.
I don't think he's going to go number 1.
He's not going to, but I think he should.
But
I mean,
he's definitely
playing
the
two
best
sides
player.
of the ball in college football.
Yeah.
He doesn't get tired either.
Yeah,
he's
he's-
always going 100%.
His conditioning is off the charts.
He's insane. I mean, he just catches everything, honestly.
For his size, he's a pretty strong guy.
Yeah.
And he's super
Yeah.
quick.
Let's talk Ashton Genty.
Ashton Genty.
Oh my.
He's going to break
insane.
the rushing record this season.
I don't think he beats Barry Sanders.
You don't think he beats
I don't
Barry?
think he beats 750 yards or something like that in 2 games.
No, but they count playoff stats too.
Yeah, they do count conference championships. That is true. He might.
So,
750
it's
over
definitely
3
a
games.
possibility.
He could do it.
It's definitely a possibility.
I think Cam Ward doesn't really have a chance, in my opinion. I mean, I
He's-
think that loss to
he'll
Georgia
be
Tech.
he'll be in New York at the ceremony.
He'll be
but
there. He won't win it
He won't win it.
I mean,
it's between Travis Hunter and
yeah.
Ashton Genty at this point.
unless someone.
Cam,
unless,
especially
like-
with the loss
Yeah.
against Georgia Tech.
Yeah, I
He
mean,
might have
he
lost
didn't.
his-
He didn't play great. He was. I mean, he's always calm in the pocket, but he looked a little too calm this time.
Yeah.
He just I mean, he always just lobs it and just doesn't look like he's putting an effort in.
Yeah.
But I think that's part of his game and why he's so good.
Yeah, he likes to play relaxed. He's
Yeah.
calm, and
I
you know,
mean,
it's one of the reasons why
yeah.
he's in this race.
That's
That's it, everybody. Hope you enjoyed watching, and that's it for Sports Weekly. Thank you.
See you.